Over the past decade, we have confronted some of the most complex public safety challenges, resulting in overwhelming losses. In the wake of these events, we have learned many valuable lessons and have made great strides improving public safety response. Today, though, we are experiencing challenges that strain our ability to respond and recover from incidents both large and small.
I think the lessons to be learned is that to provide a proper first response to any emergency, whether it's man-made or it's a natural disaster, there has to be essential communication and cooperation among all the agencies.
One of the things that we have found when we're responding to any kind of disaster is that there has to be unity of effort. And if there's not unity of effort, then your response is disjointed.
The biggest challenge I see facing public safety is reduced budgets, but still being able to maintain a high level of service and a high level of safety. How do you maintain high levels of training, keep the firefighters safe, when your budget has been cut, reduced, more than it's ever been in the past?
The fire service is now doing everything from firefighting to rescue to ambulance service to EMS provision, you name it, we do it. And with that, the cost has, escalated tremendously. The training requirements have escalated, but at the same time, one of the first places when you've got to look at keeping fuel in the trucks and keeping all the equipment up to date to do the job at hand and provide the same level of service you've been providing for the last 20 years in bad economic times, where are you going to cut?
We're going to have to find ways to offer top-notch first responder response, and how are we going to train those people, less of them and also less money to do it.
When an economic downturn happens, training almost always takes a back seat. And that is so tragic, and it's tragic from a variety of different perspectives. It's tragic from the standpoint of we're not as good as we were when officers were getting the knowledge and the skills and abilities that they need. But I think even more importantly, from a moral standpoint, it increases the likelihood that someone's going to die.
To overcome these challenges and solve the big problems facing public safety, we must think differently. Bold new ideas, passionate entrepreneurs, and cutting-edge technology are poised to revolutionize readiness as we know it.
What if every responder could communicate efficiently on the scene of an incident?
What if we could learn together and easily share our knowledge?
What if we could measure our readiness and identify our strengths and weaknesses?
So the challenge becomes, how do we keep doing what we do and sustain the progress we've made in a changing culture? And that's going to take some really thought leadership and vision to do that. It's doable, and we're doing it in Indiana. With our governor, the challengers, Governor Mitch Daniels, and the way that he has had us consolidate, think smarter, data-driven strategies, and really thinking through problems, we've been able to do that in Indiana.
We can no longer do business the way we've always been doing it. We have to change with the times. We have to change and be more responsive to the citizens, and we have to leverage technology.
Well, if training were put on a model such as what Amazon uses, where all you have to do is you go in, you log into your account, and you just pick and choose what you want, and before you ever look at it, you have a chance to find out comments. Did they like it? How many stars was it rated? And see what kind of other, say, first responders said about that training before you ever buy. I think that would be a great asset.
You have a combination of the bricks and mortar training that you have to have. If you need to put up a hook and ladder, okay, you need a hook and ladder to put up, but then attendant to that, you have all sorts of classes that can go on a electronic format. And if the particular learner wants to do that when he takes a coffee break on midnight shift, he can be training. He does not have to travel. He does not have to get scheduled. He doesn't have to get a replacement. He doesn't have to do the budget. He doesn't get the budgetary permission to travel, on and on. The shift is not disrupted, or if he wants to study on the weekends, whatever, it's flexibility.
If you have the right technology, you have the right partners, the right vision, and the time and focus to do it, you can do these things. We can make ourselves better, and we can get to that authoritative piece that really moves us away from that false sense of security for readiness.
Finally, it comes down to this. Readiness is power. Power to protect our families, our communities, and this great nation. Together, we are the network.